Welcome back, folks. Well, there's no doubt that enlarging user base and the frequency of usage are crucial to the success of an O2O platform. But what is the basic logic of the O2O model? Well, let's take a look.
As mobile payments become more common, people's demands are changing and new business models are emerging. Group buys once were the best way of getting a good deal in China, but O2O door-to-door apps have the new darling of consumers. Helped by the Internet Plus initiative, O2O apps now permeate every aspect of the service market.
O2O has a natural cash flow. When you place an order using an O2O app, you have to spend money, unless you get a free offer. That's why we think of O2O not as a simple online to offline tool, but as a whole new business paradigm. In this paradigm, whenever someone places an order, it will generate a certain cash flow.
Peng Chengjing is an analyst specializing in door-to-door O2O services. He has visited hundreds of O2O companies.
The logic behind O2O is to use highly frequent activities to pull frequent ones. For instance, food delivery and taxi services are highly frequent, but they're inexpensive. So highly frequent but inexpensive services can be utilized to encourage infrequent but expensive services. So that's the logic.
So highly frequent but inexpensive services can be utilized to encourage infrequent but expensive services. That's the logic. E-Car Wash has received funding from Ping An Insurance. With Ping An's financial resources as support, the company has also entered the after-sale market.
The car wash service is one thing, and we're working on a high-end car wash product as well. Next, our car maintenance product is already online. We might also continue to expand into car insurance and so on. So in the future, we might take care of a lot of the annoying things of owning a car, like checking tickets, doing car checkups, and so on. We're going to release all of these services.
Xiaomei Daojia has expanded from Beijing to Shanghai, Chengdu, Shenzhen, and other cities. The company also intends to move into social networks, original content, data, and other areas. In addition, it has started a relationship with French skincare product Academy. After receiving angel investment, Kung Fu Bear has focused on improving its management and developing the market for home massage services. The company also aims to increase its requirements for its masseurs and improve their training in both massage and etiquette.
We have to begin expanding massively. We're going to expand into around 20 cities. We want more people, more customers to enjoy our services. We want more masseurs to be able to leave the dullness of the massage parlors and earn more money and respect.
Research company Pingtu says that door-to-door O2O services will face fierce competition in 2015. Pingtu believes that the large O2O companies will become bigger and the rest will struggle to survive.
O2O businesses are diverging into two directions, a vertical platform and a comprehensive service platform. They all cut in from a small fraction of the market before connecting to more users. This way they create a complete supply chain, or ecological chain.
Many O2O businesses expect to see rapid expansion thanks to the Internet Plus initiative.
I think people have already noticed that they're using less money on taxis. Then there's the daily food delivery. People are very grateful. I think that the value in door-to-door services is that it's practical. That is great value to the user. That's the first thing. Second, it has improved many parts of the supply chain, so when it comes to price and quality, it has an advantage.
Many internet-based companies have already set their sights on people's daily necessities. By discovering and solving the problems that bother people the most, they are reshaping the service sector.
Well, Professor Jia, the clip mentioned using highly frequent but inexpensive activity to encourage less frequent but expensive activity, right? So this is what they called the basic logic. Explain to us, how does that work?
Right. Well, I think it just follows the basic internet thinking, so-called free plus premium model. So the idea here is you offer the basic service to the general public for free or for a small amount of fee in order to attract more users to your platform. And hopefully a small percentage of your users will step up, and pursue sort of the more expensive premium service, right? And that's where you make the money. So let's take a car wash as an example. So we all know that car wash in and of itself is a high frequency but inexpensive service item.
That's right.
So the company is very unlikely to make a lot of money on just car wash activities. So the revenue has to come from, as you mentioned, Tracy, less frequent but more expensive activities, right? So for car companies, it's either maintenance or repair. Right? So between maintenance and repair, maintenance is a more frequent activity, but repair definitely has higher profit margin. Right? But in terms of the ease of service delivery, well, maintenance is actually easier because for simple maintenance services like changing oils or AC filters, you can actually perform that at the client's place.
On location,
right? Exactly. Whereas for repair, especially major repair, you still need very sophisticated tools. You need the technicians, right? So that's less easy to be done at the client's place.
I see. Well, given the intense competition in the industry, how can these O2O companies stay very competitive?
That's a great question, Tracy. O2O home service model is definitely not the first internet-based model that tries to penetrate and also revamp the traditional service sector in China. If you remember, back in 2000, 2011, there was another internet-based service model like Groupon, right, that tries to reshape the entire China service sector. It was like a wave. The business model started to emerge in 2000, and by the time of 2011, it was estimated that there were 5,000 companies like Groupon in China who are offering highly similar or even just identical services. And it was like a wave. The tide actually goes out very quickly. So as of today, most of them unfortunately have already died. So only a few large ones had survived, right? So we know that for this kind of business model, it grows up very quickly. The growth momentum is very strong, but it can also die quickly as well. So actually a lot of people are getting worried about the O2O home service model. They're worried that these businesses is just going to be like the next Groupon. Right? So a lot of small companies are going to be consolidated. They're going to go out of business. Right? So in order to stay competitive, my take is you really have to focus on the second O, which is the quality of your offline, the actual service. Right? Let me just tell you one sort of story here. I actually tried all these housekeeping, O2O home service companies, and let me tell you that the quality of their service actually varies quite a bit. This one company I tried, this guy come to my home and then start to mop the floor, and afterwards he started to take pictures of my apartment without my approval. Right? So I called him and I asked him, why did you do that? And he said, well, this is company's requirement so that I can verify that I did come and clean your apartment. And this is a clear invasion of privacy. And he wasn't even aware of that, right? So I know at that point, this is a company that I will never use
Go
again.
back again.
Right?
And this is a pretty negligent on the part of the company to not even think about the fact that you're taking pictures of clients' private apartments.
Right, but you have to be very careful about it because for service business, the devil is always in the details, right? So the training and raise the employee awareness is very important.
So Professor Jia, from looking at this video, they're talking about in several places people are getting sort of lazier and less willing to go out because they can basically do everything on their smartphone and have all the services and food come to them. So do you think this O2O model are actually making people more lonely and antisocial?
That's a very interesting question, Tracy. I think it wasn't the original intention. I think, these O2O home service model were meant to make people's life a little bit easier and more productive. But we can't, at the same time, overlook the fact that the internet population is youth, right, mostly. And with all these online social network platforms, also with the O2O service model, yes, indeed, we are seeing the young people are less willing to go out and social with other people. My personal take is this has to change at some point.
I see your point. Well, in the mobile internet era, the interaction between the internet and the real world becomes extremely simple. We have witnessed the retail industry shifting online. Now, the services industry is also taking advantages of the e-platform and becoming a part of the Internet Plus initiative. Once again, folks, if you have an interesting business case to tell, make sure to email us at newmoney@cctv.com. And thank you so much for joining us this week on New Money. And thank you so much for all your insights, Professor Jia. And thank you for your time. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week on New Money, folks. We'll see you at the same time next week.